A dark secret was revealed in court today just before a Brooklyn rabbi got hit with the max for molesting a teenager from Borough Park. Mary Murphy from our PICS Investigates unit has followed this case right from the beginning. Mary.
Baruch Leibovitz still won't admit he sexually abused his son's friend, but he recently told probation officials that he himself was molested as a boy. The prison term he's getting for performing oral sex on the teenager in his car is stunning, 10 2/3 to 32 years.
It's just inappropriate based on the history of cases in Brooklyn and what people in Brooklyn, New York get sentenced to for these exact same crimes. It is just not proper.
Defense attorney Arthur Idella claiming Baruch Leibovitz, the wealthy owner of a travel agency, is being punished for not taking a plea bargain before trial.
He was offered on the eve of trial 1 1/3 to 4 to cover the whole case.
Now Leibovitz is paying big time, failing miserably in his claims that the victim's family lied to extort big bucks from his multimillionaire son who won the lottery in Israel.
We never took money. We didn't want money. I don't want money from nobody else. I work for my money very hard.
The victim, now 22, had testified Leibovitz lured him into his Toyota when he was 16, promising to let him drive. Instead, he says he was sexually abused by the father of 7 in 10 separate incidents, later turning to drugs and alcohol. Some people are telling me I'll regret going to the police, the young man told the judge today. I feel every day Baruch Leibovitz is in jail is a day kids in our community are safe.
Hopefully this really sends a message to the community that the ways of old and protecting the abuser will not work.
Joel Engelman was just one of the young men in court today who say they've survived sexual abuse in the insulated world of Hasidic Orthodox Jewish communities. Another man who says he was raped in a mikveh bath at age 7 and later left his Williamsburg home talked of the fallout.
In the past year, I've had over 5 friends that have committed suicide. They felt helpless and hopeless.
Baruch Leibovitz was long suspected of being a sexual predator in Borough Park, and the prosecution claimed he tried to bribe some accusers to keep them out of court. He closed his eyes as the victim's father tore into him. I ask you, Mordecai Leibovitz, where is your soul? You destroyed these children. Outside, the father told us he was set upon by Leibovitz supporters in the synagogue.
Right, somebody almost kicked me. They threw away the tallis. They threw me out of the synagogue.
Today, on Monday, April 12th, the walls are beginning to crumble.
The floodgates of allegations about sexual abuse of boys, in particular in the Orthodox communities, started to burst more than 2 years ago. Mark Weiss says the man who raped him at age 13 fled to Israel.
Yeah, it breaks my heart, but I have to not focus on what is important to me and instead focus on what's important to the cause.
And just before sentencing was imposed today, Judge Patricia DeMango revealed the contents of Baruch Leibovitz's probation report, where he confided to officials that he himself was a victim of sexual abuse, first by an uncle when he was just an 11-year-old boy, and then a year later by a teenager. The judge pointed out sex abuse often leads to sex abuse. She noted Leibovitz struggled with compulsive gambling later in life, squandering thousands of dollars, but she gave him the max anyway, declaring abusing and harming children will not be tolerated.
This day should never have come to be. It's a sad day, but unfortunately it's a day that had to come to be.
The defense pointed out today that Leibovitz worked many years as a kindergarten teacher, and there was never one complaint from any parents. Now it's a max of 32 years for what's considered on paper to be a nonviolent crime, but his teenage victims say he viciously assaulted their self-esteem.
Teenage victims making these comments, kindergarten parents never saying a word. What's the explanation for the discrepancy there?
Because sometimes people who abuse target a certain age group. Their abuse actually may have happened at the time or in the age group of the people that they abuse.
Okay, thank you.